Welcome to Talk of the Devil, a comedy news panel show brought to you by the Lancaster University Comedy Institute. I'm your host, Ben Winterton, and this week we've got three of the finest comedians around to discuss past news stories of the last week or so. They'll be gaining points of being relevant, funny, and if we're really lucky, correct. Joining me today is built his house from sticks, Mr. Rick Kay.
Hello. Thank you.
Also, we have built his house from straw, Mr. Ed Colley.
Yay!
And built his house from a strange paste made from liquidised sticks and straw. We have Mr. Jack Marshall.
Hey!
And also we have our wonderful producer, Miss Rachel Smith.
Hi.
Oh, isn't she great?
And also, of course, we've got you guys. So if you're listening in and you message in, we very much appreciate it. If you've got any sort of thoughts on the news stories we talk about, you've got any music requests, or just generally, if you'd like to sort of more get involved. I want to start getting our listeners more involved. So I'm actually going to have a Best Listener of the Week award going out to people who send in the best messages. So there you go. Who knows? Maybe there'll even be a small cash prize.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Okay, so let's make up for lost time and get straight on with with facts. So first off, we have our first round, which is the quotation investigation. Is that what it's called? I'm sticking with that.
That's a cool name.
Quotation investigation. And I'm going to give each of our panellists a quote, and they simply have to tell me who said the quote. So first off, he told me it was because of the incident with Merlin, and he didn't want to have a conversation with me about it. Any thoughts, guys?
Someone who got kicked out of Disneyland.
Now, Merlin is actually not a Disney character.
Yes, he is. He's still on the stone.
Yeah, but
other stones are available.
I think he predates that.
Even though he married Minnie Mouse, he's not actually a Disney character still officially. You need to wait 5 years living in Disney.
But that's
to
in the,
become...
It's a Disney
the
character
rebooted
anymore.
universe.
Yeah.
Is it a guy who went a bit insane about sticker collecting?
No, but that's very good. Are there other sticker producers available?
Panini.
This is the worst thing to do, is to name more of them.
I can only think of two, so sorry.
I've got a sticker collection at the moment. I don't know who makes it, so that's a rubbish thing. It's an England one, England football one.
Oh, okay.
I've got 164 out of the 302 stickers so far. So if anyone's got any swaps they want to give me, message them in.
What
doubles do you have?
Yeah, what doubles have you got? You can't just.
I've got so many. I actually got not a swap, but I actually got number one the other day. So that was huge. I've got a few shinies on swap. Got Ashley Young on swap. He's a shiny, so that's good.
Is that is that just what he's like in real life?
Yeah. He's very shiny.
Well,
metallic.
So yeah, it was about me writing into Merlin. That's what it was.
Now, with these sticker collections, I mean, they do like a football one every year, and there's probably countless other ones. But do you know there's some super stickers, which are two stickers made out of one sticker made out of two?
Yeah. Sometimes you get 4 ones if you were really lucky.
Well, I mean, I knew I was never going to collect them all because I never really had the funds of the will, but I did like to create my own Frankenstein football player every time I got myself.
No, I used to collect those sort of temporary tattoos, and I ended up sort of just putting like a picture of the Hulk on my own forehead.
That's a bit Charles Manson. You should probably look into that.
I'll tell you something about my sticker collection, actually. It's signed by Bobby Charlton.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's the exciting thing.
I was going to give you a point for that, but I thought, that's reward enough. Alright, let's hear the quote again. He told me it was because of the incident with Merlin, and he didn't want to have a conversation with me about it.
Okay. It's going to be the BBC show?
Yeah, the TV show, because there was a TV show called Merlin, right?
Yeah.
So I don't remember anything happening with that. I mean, did they actually manage to cast magic by accident?
I think they probably did cast magic quite a bit in Merlin.
Sorry, are we talking about the characters or the BBC? Because we've got this thing called CGI, Jack. It's not magic, right?
So they don't actually have a Shrek sort of kicking around somewhere?
No, they do.
Oh, okay.
That's separate.
But he's on green
friend's
screen,
dad.
they put him in the background.
Yeah.
Your friend's dad, the Shrek?
Yeah.
Oh, what's who's donkey?
My friend.
so Shrek is donkey's dad?
Yeah.
That is... Okay, that's a spoiler if anyone hasn't seen Shrek 5.
Horrible.
Coming out this year.
That's in the extended canon. It's never actually mentioned in the main film.
Why would put a donkey in a really big cannon?
How have we already got this distracted?
I'm in the room, that's why.
Because none of us have a clue what the answer
Alright,
is.
I don't think you're going to get it. I'll try and get you to get to the story at least. Okay.
If you say Arthur Pendragon right now, I'll kill you.
The man was Ivor James.
Good name.
And the headline goes, multimillionaire sacked his driver for giving Labrador a bone. An employment tribunal judge ruled that property tycoon Raymond Mole did not act reasonably in dismissing 60-year-old Ivor James, who also worked as his handyman. Mr. James denied feeding a bone to the dog, which had previously undergone surgery after eating conkers. I literally haven't read this script, by the way, so this is all news to me. The dog was sat there begging, so I gave him a piece of lamb meat. It was just what was left after when I finished my dinner. I didn't consider it was a bone. As far as I was concerned, it was a piece of fatty meat. His main job was to drive the businessman, his wife, and their 2 children wherever they wished to go. I assume that's not referring to the dog still. But he also undertook duties as a gardener and set up a workshop. In his statement to the tribunal, Mr. James stated, Mr. Mould told me that he'd been to the vet in Solihull with Merlin and the vet had found a lamb bone in the dog.
So Merlin was the dog? I don't understand the story.
I think that's what it is.
Yes, sorry, it doesn't actually. I didn't actually specify that in the
Because
story.
otherwise that just seemed like a completely
I was like,
about something.
the whole way through that, I was like, what's Merlin got to do with this?
Actually, no, it's about this dog thing that happened.
How were we ever meant to get that?
I apologise. Okay, I'm going to skip that one.
Brilliant.
Okay. Okay. Even if we ever made contact with aliens, this creature will most likely be a lot stranger.
Oh, is this that evolving fish thing they found at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean or something? The one that is actually undergoing some sort of evolution?
I'm going to give you it, Jack. Mysterious blob filmed by remote control capsule baffles online users. If you know what is lurking at the bottom of the ocean, then please let us and the rest of the world in on the secret. One popular theory for what the strange blob-like object might be is a whale's placenta, with many users commenting below the YouTube video stating they're sure this is what it is. Other suggestions so far have included jellyfish, a garbage bag and a plastic bag. And one user even suggested that humans are most likely to understand an alien, are more likely to understand an alien upon chance meeting than figure out what this creature is. Even if we ever make contact with aliens, this creature will most likely be a lot stranger, the comment read. So yeah, can we have a round of applause for Jack for actually getting something right?
I thought it was going to be about Susan Boyle, but there we go.
She's actually evolved in her own way. She's not looking so dowdy anymore. I actually have to openly admit on radio that I watched Britain's Got Talent final last night, and she was on it as a sort of a guest performer, and she's got makeup and stuff on now.
Is she attractive then? Would you?
I would say, like, in terms of likelihoods, I'm more likely to do her now than I was then.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's my way of complimenting somebody in the most
I genuinely can't work out whether that counts as defaming someone on air or not. Like,
So I've got a semi-relevant bit of news here because no,
I've got a semi-relevant bit of news here.
it's the fact that insurance companies are actually having to decide by 2014 what would happen if aliens invade the Earth and who would pay up. Because there was some place in America that looked at the Avengers and said that that would cost about £160 billion in damages. And as an insurance way, who would pay for that? Because technically it would be an act of God, maybe.
Well, they wouldn't, because God doesn't believe in aliens.
There's an act of a god, but not God.
Yeah.
Well, it's aliens and a god, so I'm not sure.
Well, I think the aliens was kind of... Anyway, now I'm learning this as I go, but surely we could just put New York back together with this CGI magic I've heard about so far. Can we have like a CGI New York to live in?
Well, interestingly enough, what I think is that if you're working in an insurance broker, you shouldn't be wasting your time thinking about fictional things.
I think it's one of those things that they try to sell to kids, you know, like when they're trying to get people interested in maths and science. It's like, ooh, like, because back when I was like, sort of, they're like, ooh, but as an insurance broker, you have to sort of figure out what the chance of being hijacked by pirates are, because like Somalian pirates. Like, you know, that's an insurance thing. You have to sort of weigh up the cost of being attacked by Somalian pirates, which is kind of like a sexy kind of version of what insurance really is in day to day. Just about the news thing. What if Loki and aliens attack New York? You have to figure out the cost of the damages.
There's something that Somalian pirates are. It's sexy. That's what they are.
Go on, Rich.
At the risk of stealing someone else's material, you can't. Insurance brokers can't call something an act of God because everything's an act of God, technically. So. That's just a silly thing.
Either everything is or nothing is.
Yeah, exactly.
Either
they can't
way.
have it halfway. Like, why? You know how they said the Iceland volcano thing was an act of God? why is God doing that? Like, I'm not worshipping him if he does in
Well,
his spare
somebody got
time.
refused life insurance because he choked on his fish and chips dinner because it was an act of cod.
Nah.
And on that note, we're moving on. So,
-1.
guys, I kind of jumped into things, but how have your respective weeks been? Have we had anything exciting going on in the worlds of Rick, Jack, and/or Ed?
And/or Ed.
Have I done anything exciting? I don't think so.
Well, I've been quite jet lagged coming back from my trip to California in the last fortnight. I know. But the jet lag itself has been giving me those weird dreams where I'm not sure whether I'm awake or not because my brain's quite convinced that I'm awake. And I keep having recurring versions of this dream where I'm awake, I know I'm tired and I'm just trying to do things that I obviously can't do because I'm falling asleep whilst I'm doing them, like cooking, driving, or shaving a dog. And the dream always ends in the same way, in that I've completely ruined whatever it is I'm trying to do, and I'm just claiming that I can do it, and then everyone's just putting me back to bed. Even though I'm already there.
You ever tried lucid dreaming?
Well, I've heard of this. It's like where you try and like take control of the...
You take control of your dreams, yeah. Apparently, for the first few times you do it, you just have horrible nightmares. Which... I'm too scared to try it for the first time, but I heard after that it gets amazing.
I'm always worried that when I do lucid dream, that I'm actually, like, a phantom version of myself just appears wherever I am in the dream, and that those things are actually happening, so I try not to do it, because...
There's obviously been some mix-up, because what I asked was, anything exciting happens, rather than, are any of you mental? Ed, what about you?
I've become semi-addicted to that spray cream stuff that you get, you put on top of coffees, because I've just been eating it at intermittent bursts straight out of the can. I have no more really exams to do, thanks to my wonderful engineering course, and that's what my life now boils down to.
I went to the US Embassy in London, which wasn't exciting because the US Embassy in London is not exciting. It's just a big old building with long queues. I
Yeah.
thought it would look like the White House and be really fun. but
No,
it doesn't.
the embassies in London are really dull. They're just a load of old buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you-
Okay.
You're not allowed to take a calculator in, but you are allowed to take your watch in. Like, have they never watched James Bond? Like, if you're going to attack an embassy, a watch would be really good.
Just go out the door.
What?
Like, are there loads of spies outside, like before they run in, like going, great, let's do some long division. Yep, go, like making sure they can do trying to level up their mental math skills to the highest level.
But then they've got a watch that's a grenade detonator, so...
Yeah, but
all
the grenade was in the calculator.
Ah.
You see spies, like, typing in...
Useless. No, they're really good. I don't see any spies.
Do you know, like, when spies are supposed to type in numbers on a keypad to access things? That's just them doing really quick sums.
All right.
So they need to have, like, absolutely on it with mental arithmetic.
You've seen some rubbish spy films when spies need to type things in on a keypad to access things.
Right, there's about 5 movies where mathematicians are the heroes, or even main characters in the story, and one of them is a very bad spy movie, so I'm going to stick with that.
Can you name? I think I can name one of the other ones. There's a film called The Cube, which has a mathematician in, I believe. Anyway, this is
Spy.
Spy. All right, so let's move on to our next round, which is called Funny Because It's True. In this round, I'm going to give our contestants 3 news stories, one of which is real and the other 2 are completely made up. So, first one. George Bush set to release new fragrance. The former US president announced this week a new business venture. He will be releasing a new line of men's aftershave, simply called Scent of Bush. Although more commonly found making one of his regular public appearances, former President Bush has been working closely with perfumer Katrina Le Pen, ready for an early September release.
Now, is this Bush Senior or Bush Junior?
This is George W. Bush, I believe.
Okay, so it isn't the scent of Senior Bush.
No.
It's going to smell like the blood of 1,000 dead soldiers.
Just 1,000.
As we say, keep it clean here on Bailric. What do you think, Ed?
Point for that.
Well, because I gave him a point because he may get banned for it. It's the least. It was a consolation point. What?
Okay, first one, Bush in a bottle, got it, okay.
Bush in a bottle, right? Okay.
I'm going to call Shenanigans mainly because of the name. I think the name's too stupid, and I think they could have gone with something like the Bush Doctrine if they couldn't actually release a perfume based on Bush. But
Okay, so we're a bit cynical about that one.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what you think if it's the next one. Okay. Crossword writer accused of coded messages to kill Chavez's brother Is that Chavez or Chavez?
Chavez.
Chavez, yeah.
Hugo Chavez.
Okay.
Venezuelan president. Currently suffering from some sort of cancer unknown.
Okay. Neptali Segovia was interviewed by intelligence agents after a state TV pundit said he disguised a message to kill Mr. Chavez's brother in the answers to various clues in a crossword. Answers to clues included Aidan, Assassinen, meaning kill, and Rafaga, which can mean either a burst of gunfire or a gust of wind. These sorts of messages were used a lot in World War II, the pundit Perez Pirella said earlier in the week in a dramatic denouncement of Ultimas Noticias's newspaper on live television. Mr. Segovia has denied any subversive intentions. Now, whoever wrote that script, thanks for giving me so many foreign words to try and pronounce in what without any preparation. Thanks.
Yeah, those like code words, and you're just doing the crossword normally. You know what I mean? Wait a second, that doesn't mean anything. I've got 5 random letters put together.
I mean, I think maybe they're doing that thing where the letters in the circles, you have to read them across the lines, not vertically, and then maybe they've got the wires crossed. And also, I like to think that, like in certain crosswords, there's like 2 celebrities in the crossword, and when you finish it, certain squares will spell out like a connection between the 2. I like to think that the connection between Hugo Chavez and, say, some other dictator is a gust of wind. Or they kill things.
I just like to think that when it's a gust of wind, he was just trying to write something quite poetic, like, oh, but there are gust of winds to the Ides of Time. I don't know. I'm not a poet.
I just don't see, like, why an assassin or a spy or some sort of political tool like that would use a crossword book, like a publisher, an entire publisher, and be on the act rather than, say, having a mobile phone or something. Like a text.
So you're a bit cynical. What do you think, Rick?
I'm quite cynical due to the points raised.
But I'm not cynical because it's the kind of stupid thing that someone would, in a sense of paranoia, think was true, because crosswords have a long history of being associated with spy games and cloak and dagger type things in sort of popular folklore.
Yeah, but it does mean that you're going to have to start hiring assassins with basic GCSE sort of, English and maths skills. Because unless they're sort of illiterate, not going to be much use as an assassin to do a crossword.
I think there's already, you need at least 5 GCSEs A to C to become an assassin. I think that's
It's actually 8 A stars and a B,
wow.
And then you need to do A levels as well.
Can the B be anything, or do you need to have...
preferably in home economics, but it can be anything.
I don't know, I from James Bond anyway, which is where my knowledge of all assassins come from. Don't all sort of assassins and villains have some sort of distinctive disability? Like, you've got the bleeding eyes, you've got jaws, you've got, Goldfinger's a bit fat. You know what I mean? Nick Knackers.
What about Trevelyan in GoldenEye?
He was arrogant. He was dead. So.
Well, he's Sean Bean, so he's sort of destined to die.
He's got some sort of innate fictional death sentence. So, yeah.
That's one hell of a disability. Sorry, could I get some disability allowance because I have an innate fictional death sentence?
Well, yeah, I mean, in that sense, why wouldn't the illiterate killer be or killiterate, he could be called?
Right, we're moving on.
Boo.
Okay. So far we've had George Bush, Oderbush, and we've had crosswords sent in crossword. That's my little abbreviated summary of it. Yeah, A. Okay, finally. Record attempt falls like a house of cards. I was doing air quotes. You couldn't see that at home. Maybe on the webcam. We do have a webcam, by the way, if you want to see me and Rachel reading things.
Frame by frame.
not me typing.
Well, I think it updates every minute, so I'd have to for 1 minute have my my fingers in the V thing, then slightly bent, then increasingly bent.
So, in the first minute you look like a hippie, and in the second minute you just look a bit weird doing people
look like a vulture.
Anyway,
no one could say any of that. I don't know why I didn't either.
Record attempts falls like a house of cards. A man trying to extend his record for the largest playing card structure in Las Vegas, Nevada, fell short after his 220,569 card replica of Las Vegas casinos failed to stand for the required 2 minutes. Brian Berg, already holding the record with 218,792 cards, sought to extend the record with a structure which included models of the Bellagio, Caesar's Palace, and the MGM Grand Casinos. It is believed to have toppled after somebody thoughtlessly left a window open, allowing a breeze to enter the CBS television studio where the record was set to be broadcast. Brian Berg has stated his wish to attempt the feat again in the near future. What do we think to that?
That's more plausible.
Well, because I want to make a card pun, that was a bit of a flop, eh?
It was.
That was more relating specifically to Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, I liked it.
Well, the fact that the whole thing came flopping down. Trying to save it.
You'd be better off just saying, you know, he didn't get a full
But then again, why not related to poker?
Why not indeed?
Because they're in casinos. Well, they're making casinos out of cards, and you play Texas Hold'em in a casino.
Yeah, I'm on your side, Jack. I'm on your side.
Yes.
Well, it's got a pun around it, so that must mean it's true. What do you think, Rick?
I just wonder why these people do these things. Like, if you put that much time into, say, like, long jump, he could go to the Olympics, but instead he just builds massive houses. I wonder how long that took it.
But he might be like... He might have dodgy legs.
Well, then he could do something. He could do discus then.
I think you still need good legs to be a discus thrower.
Yeah. The theory that if you put 10,000 hours into anything, you can become the best in the world at it.
That's from the... isn't that from the Malcolm Gladwell book?
It's
called The Tipping Point?
I've only been told about it, but...
yeah, that's the idea, that geniuses aren't born geniuses or genii, but if you put 10,000 hours into something, you become effectively a genius.
I just think it should be a sign, when it got blown over, that just stop doing this. Maybe that was an act of God to say, stop, do something else. Does he get paid? Like, how do you make money? Do people sponsor him to do these
maybe
things?
bet on it. He's in Las Vegas.
He's lost a lot of money.
I don't
then.
have much other information here, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ed?
Of the three, I think I would probably put my money on the playing card house.
You think the playing card house is real?
Yes.
Okay, that's what you're going with?
Yes.
What do you think, Jack? Which one do you think was the real? Let's just to reiterate, we've had the George Bush perfume, we've had the crosswords writer death threats, and we've had the failed record attempt House of Cards.
I reckon, just because of the connection with Chavez and it all being a bit crazy and plausibly stupid, I like two. I like the crosswords.
You're going with the crosswords. Okay, and Rick, what do you think?
Well, I can either put it on the Eau de Bush just to be different, but I genuinely think it's the House of Cards one.
You think it's the House of Cards?
But I'm going to go with Eau de Bush just to only one person.
You don't have to. No. It's just, this is a competition.
This is a serious game, and I should take it. I'm going to go with Eau de Bush.
You're going to go with Eau de Bush?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can reveal that the correct person is Jack. It's in fact the crossword writer threatening to kill Hugo Chavez's brother.
Really?
A whoop.
Yes, so the record House of Cards, which you both thought was true, is actually completely made up.
Oh, can I just explain my sort of ace in the hole why I thought it was two? It's because not so long ago, Hugo Chavez accused the American government of spreading cancer deliberately to South America. So it's just the kind of stupid thing that they would believe.
Fair enough.
How do you spread cancer deliberately?
That's quite
anyway?
racist.
No, that he would believe, because he only believes something stupid, so there's precedent for Hugo
He also had his
Chavez.
own TV show where he got videos of the people who tried to oppose him and then made stupid sound effects over the top of them. And that's literally what he did to destroy his opponents.
Well, defame them using cartoon effects and noises.
Yeah, pretty much. He's a very odd man.
So now we have our Nick Clegg scheme of the week. Nick Clegg, he is quite down in the polls. He's quite down generally. His policies aren't getting through, and when they do, they get mocked. We need a pick-me-up, guys, for Nick Clegg and the Liberal Democrat Party. So, in this part of the show, I'd like to give our contestants the chance to come up with some sort of scheme to get back at David Cameron, or perhaps the country as a whole. So first we go to Mr. Edmund Colley. Ed.
Right, this is something I've been looking into a bit recently, but they've sort of designed this new type of sort of power suit that they can use to sort of increase sort of human strength. It's sort of like an exoskeleton, and it sort of uses pneumatic pads, sort of increase. And what I do is I get sort of a whole like bodysuit of this, and then put it in David Cameron's suit. I mean, not only making him incredibly strong, you'd remotely control it, therefore having complete control of David Cameron. I would then either have him sort of, do a Hulk-style breakdown of, like, downtown London, or just have them do a series of really mediocre semi-professional dance competitions.
I worry that in the Hulk scenario, that might actually get him more votes. So,
People do like the Hulk.
yeah.
I mean, you could do this sort of like the on ice version, you know what I mean? And you could call it hulking on ice.
What? Alright, Jack, what's your story? Or scheme, should I say?
Well, since like Nick Clegg and David Cameron kind of live in the same vicinity now, like they can access each other's stuff and they go to each other's house parties. So I would start like really messing with his save files and certain things, or messing with his so he's got a Pokemon file, David Cameron. So rather than
he's got a Pokemon file.
he's got like a Pokemon game. Okay.
Right, okay.
And he's worked really hard on it. He's collected loads of hours on it. So rather than do like the really obvious thing and just restart the game, start a new game and then save it 2 seconds in so he loses all his progress, I just go into the Pokemon Center and just release all the Pokemon that you can only get by choosing them, or one-offs. So the start Pokemon, just release them, and then go and get the Snorlaxes and all that and just release them. Just everything that you can't just catch in the wild, just release them. So he has to then, when he gets to his file, decide whether he wants to continue and press on without his unique Pokemon, or himself restart the entire thing just so he can get back his one-offs. Take that, Cameron.
I can see the obvious political repercussions of that.
And as an extension, I would catch a Bidoof and call it Clegg and just leave it there. in his team of 6.
So far we've got fit David Cameron in power armor, or lock him in power armor and control him, and play around with his Pokemon save game. Rick, do you have anything less insane for us?
It's actually a bit less serious, but it's in relation to quite an old story there. You know when David Cameron claimed he went to a pasty shop in Leeds and it had been closed for years and years and years?
Was it? Yes.
Yeah,
Was this part of Pasty Gate?
Yeah,
okay.
It was all that. And Cameron claimed he went to a pasty shop recently, but it had been closed for 3 years. So what I'd do, I'd reopen that shop and call it, if I was Nick Clegg, I'd open it and call it David Cameron's Fancy World. And it'd just sell pasties, and you could also just take money out of the shop and claim that it's good for the shop.
Ooh.
Oh!
We did something frivolous and then threw a cheeky satirical bit in at the end. That's fantastic. Okay, speaking of someone who has to go to Leeds Station quite a lot, I'd be happy if there was a pasty shop there. They don't have a good selection of food. That's not funny, but it's just my opinion.
Not funny. It's not. I've never been to. Actually, I have been to Leeds Station, but I didn't eat anything there, which is
maybe you would if there was a pasty shop. Okay, so out of pasty shop, Pokemon save files, and power armor. I'm kind of torn.
I do like the bakery one. I mean, I know I'm shooting myself.
No one asked you, Jack. I'm in charge. This is a dictatorship, not a democracy. Rachel, what do you think?
You could open a franchise of the shops, and they could all be satirical puns on the place where they are.
Humble pie.
This pie shop idea is beginning to take.
It's beginning to flesh out. We're seeing a 5-year plan for this.
Yeah.
Alright, well, just because I want more food access more food available in Leeds Station, I'm going to give the points to Rick. So, round of applause to Rick.
You did good.
What baffled me about that, though, was the fact that for an entire week, it was a news story that, what's his face? Chancellor. Can't remember his name. Osborne, that's him. That he'd never been to Greg's, and that was news for an entire week. It's he has a lot of money. Of course he's never been to Greg's.
Whoa. No matter how wealthy I get, I'm still going to be going to Greg's.
Just going to buy more.
Of course, other bakeries are available.
Yes, they are.
But, what annoys me is precisely that is that George Osborne is so smug. You will literally that's defaming. Let's move on. So
leaving it there isn't defaming.
He's just smug. Okay.
It's one of these things that people should be left alone for. So what if you've never seen Star Trek?
Where are you going with that?
Just saying, people always. If I said I've never seen Star Wars, people are like, whoa, what? I'm just leave people alone. They've got their own rights to not be part of mass culture. Which Star Wars is.
I don't mind if politicians have never been to that bakery shop, but as long as they've been to a high street shop that sells spicy chicken in peri peri sauce, then I'd vote
That's
for
the
them.
line you want governing your
Yeah, as long as they've been there, you know where I mean.
So
I'd vote
you
for
know
them.
you've had experience in all branches of government, and you're a good man. You've got a good head on your shoulders, or a good woman perhaps. But you've never been to Nando's. Sorry,
He just went and said it.
Other restaurants are available. Yes, well, in that case, we shall move on then to our final round called Mind the Gap. And in this round, it's quite simple. Basically, I'm going to give our contestants a headline, but I've omitted a key word or phrase from that headline, and they have to try and guess what it is. It's sort of a Mind the Gap scenario, if you will. Okay, first one. Robber holds up Manchester newsagent with what?
Vampire Diaries.
An Oasis album.
It's not the Vampire
is
Diaries.
it a palm tree type thing? Is it like sort of the palm leaves?
No.
I've seen that happened. A guy tried to like hide his identity and threaten at the same time a shop clerk with like a palm leaf type plant. And he just came in like really confident, like I've got, give me all your money. And the guy just sort of like comes on the front and like shoves him out, like no, I'm not doing that. And the guy gets arrested for aggravated assault.
It's not that. It is almost as stupid.
It's a ridiculous like. Is
David
it
Cameron in a power suit.
banana?
It's not banana. It's not David Cameron in a power suit, though. Good callback.
Is it David Cameron in a banana suit holding up a power banana?
It's none of those things.
No other power fruits are.
Do you want me to read it? Robber holds up Manchester newsagent with what?
Everyone's looking at me, and I don't know why.
What, as in sort of electricity, as in sort of summons like thunder to them?
I don't think you should do it with 1 watt. I think you need slight. I don't think thunder has as much. It's just 1 watt.
Is it something really inane, just like a gun? Baseball bat.
It's not. All right, it's a food item. I'll give you the clue.
Chocolate bar.
Mango.
It's not a mango or a chocolate bar.
Something you'd
Kiwi.
blast someone with.
Baguette.
Like butternut squash.
Alright, something that's really quite hard.
Cucumber.
A one-off moem.
It's something that's normally served hot.
Croissant.
It's not a croissant.
Was he threatening to scald him with soup?
Chicken.
It's a liquid.
Okay.
Coffee?
Coffee! It was coffee! Very good, Ed. Yes. A man in Manchester has been nicknamed the world's most casual robber after holding up a shop with a cup of coffee. Police have released CCTV security footage of a robber calmly asking a shop assistant in the Oasis news store, it's in Manchester, in Winterton, to fill bin bags with cigarettes and tobacco. The pair may... Okay. Yep, cool. Sorry. Right, that's that. Moving on. Okay, so next. What caught gambling, smoking and drinking at party?
Gambling, smoking,
Nick
and
Clegg.
drinking at a party.
Yeah, what or who? Who caught...
Hugh Hefner.
That wouldn't be that unusual. Defaming, sorry.
To be fair, he does not gamble.
Jack Marshall.
Jack Marshall...
I've made the news.
he wasn't caught. He got away with it.
I'm slick.
Who caught gambling, smoking and drinking at party?
The Who got caught.
No, because then the question would be, what, who caught gambling? And the answer would just be, the.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. It's not Scooby-Doo.
Is it someone...
It's someone... No. That doesn't work. Go on.
Is it like a kids' TV presenter or something? Someone who's got a squeaky clean image or is meant to have one?
So
The second part of what you said is right. It's not a TV kids presenter. It's
Okay.
someone who generally has quite a clean image.
A vicar?
You're close.
Vicar
It's not.
Dibley.
It's not.
Bishop?
It's not Christianity.
The Pope.
It's not.
An imam?
Candy.
It's not an imam.
A rabbi?
It's not a rabbi.
An atheum? A Buddhist?
A Buddhist monks called
Buddhist
gambling,
monks.
smoking, and drinking at party. Very good.
I thought it was
But isn't that like fine by then, though? Isn't that not a newsworthy thing?
Well, let's find out, and I'll read
Okay,
the
go
story,
on
and we'll
then,
see
go
if
on.
there's anything interesting in it. 6 leaders from South Korea's biggest Buddhist order have quit after secret video footage showed some supposedly serene monks raising hell, playing high-stakes poker, drinking and smoking. I assume that's not high-stakes drinking and smoking. Like, just like, we're gonna drink
There's
this
some poison in
acid. The scandal erupted just days before Koreans observe a national holiday to celebrate the birth of Buddha, the holiest day of the religion's calendar. The head of the, I assume that said, Jorge order, which has some 10 million followers, or about a fifth of the population, made a public apology on Friday, for vowing self-repentance. Next. What or who produce a lot of poo?
You.
You produce a lot of poo.
No, you.
You. No, it's not. It's
I
not
saw
you or me.
a great picture on the internet, because that's where great pictures are, and it was just one of those like claw machines you get at arcades, and it was full of Winnie the Poohs, and the caption was just a big pile of poo. It really made me laugh.
Society.
It's slightly smaller than that.
Okay.
What produce a lot of poo?
Cows.
Not cows.
No, is a species bigger than a society?
Pigs, farm
Pigs.
animals.
It's a specific number of pigs.
137.
It's a lot more than
A
137.
lot more.
Well,
A million pigs produce a lot of poo.
It's more than a million.
A billion pigs produce a lot of
Less
poo.
than a billion.
What are we doing?
This could take
Half
a
a million
while.
pigs.
It's more than 500,000 pigs.
750,000 pigs.
It's less than 750,000.
600,000 pigs.
It's more than 600,000.
650,000
It's more than 650,000.
670,000.
Isn't it in the millions? It's like 700 million.
It's
isn't it?
700 million pigs. So I'm going to give that to Rick for no apparent reason. Yes. China's love of pork presents a mountain of problem for the environment. 1.4 million tonnes of pig poo a year, to be precise, but an Australian company believes it has part of the answer. Why not turn the pig poo into power? Using a bioreactor called Poo Care TM and other technology, the pig manure is converted into biofuel for cooking and heating, while the residual goes to farmers as nutrient-rich fertilisers. Next, fun-loving bears line up and what?
Dance.
In front of the firing squad?
Line up and in front of firing squad. Yeah, sort out your grammar, Colley.
So
Line up in front of.
But it's line up and.
line up and
Get a shot would work.
Line up and climb trees. Bears love to climb trees. There's always like a news story about a bear climbing a tree.
Well, that is technically true, so I should probably give you a point for that.
Bears also have fur. There's a fact for you. Can have a point.
Alright. Fun-loving bears line up and what? Bear in mind they're fun-loving bears. They don't hate
the
fun.
the shaking trees where they're like scratching their back against a tree.
Shave love hearts into their chest.
There is an analogy to Baloo in the story.
But it's not for doing the back scratching on
It's
the
not
tree
the back
thing.
scratching.
So it's not singing.
Sing jazzy musical numbers.
No, bears can't sing. They don't have the same vocal cords we do.
What else does Baloo do with a tree?
It's not fight monkeys either.
Take a human child into his care.
We'll have a party.
They line up to raise a child as part of the party. I love that.
You were quite close when you talked about dancing, Jack. It's a very specific dance, though.
Was it hula dancing?
It's not hula dancing.
Conga dancing.
It's the conga. Fun-loving bears line up and get ready to do the conga. While most bears have a fearsome and dangerous reputation, these young cubs appear to have the same outlook on life as the Jungle Book's laid-back fictional character, Baloo.
Baloo didn't do the conga by himself. He's not insane.
They may as well have all been singing the film's hit song, I Wanna Be Like You, as one bear, after the next, began forming a conga line. The cute clip shows 10 of the baby bears lining up for a spot of grooming, with each one licking the back of another's head. Over 150,000 people have watched the 51-second recording on video sharing website YouTube. Other video sharing websites are available, where it has received hundreds of likes. One amused fan commented, I was expecting Bear Grylls to show up and get in the line.
Hang on, a fan?
I was expecting Chuck Tester to appear.
And
There you
also,
go. I went
like,
there.
they said the hit song "Wanna Be Like You." They missed it. Why not Bare Necessities? Because it's about bears.
Well, if it's like a regular.
That's a good point. That it's not even Baloo sings I Want to Be Like You. It's King Louie.
It's King Louie, the monkey guy.
Yeah.
The ape, if you
I'm
will.
furious with my sauce.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Non-research source.
Okay.
It's the Metro newspaper. As in,
Oh yeah, they're
Of course it is.
They're probably not even referring to Jungle Book. They probably watch Tailspin or something.
If you get that reference,
Whatever.
you send in a message if you get that reference. You have to quote the theme music from Tailspin, and you can't YouTube it because I'll know. And then I'll give you some points.
Thanks.
All right. So quickly, we're going to have a final look at the comments, just to see if anyone else has messaged in. We haven't had any other messages in, so by default, our listener of the week is Dan. So Dan, if you're still listening, well done. Let's have a round of applause for Dan.
I'm trying to make that applause
He'll be-
as begrudging as possible.
He'll be watching the football by now, but there we go.
Are we competing with some sort of sporting event?
Yeah,
I
last-
specifically requested this from every sporting.
Can we get the results up, mate? Well, not the results, the current scores.
We are not giving away the current scores on this
Oh, no.
show.
Okay.
We will give them away.
That's my other show. Yeah. sorry.
After, well, go back to your other show then. So
Tuesdays
I
at
can now
9
reveal the
PM.
scores. So in third place this week is Mr. Edmund Colley on 10 points.
But he still gets third place, though. It's bronze.
It's a medal of sorts.
And 10 points, you get £10 from Ben.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay.
That was the promise.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Ed is in third place. So, the winner of Talk of the Devil this week is.
Can you do like a sort of like reality TV show type of awkward pause where everyone's like really dying?
It just
Awkward
goes
pauses
on.
don't work well on radio, Jack.
It's dead air, so we'd have to go.
No, but you can.
We'd have to do that.
That's literally the only
By
option.
law.
Oh, like some sort
The winner's Rick K!
start with the K factor.
On 13 points, and Jack coming in second place with a very respectable 12
Oh,
points.
that's okay.
So, congratulations, Rick. What
you.
are you going to spend your points on?
I'm going to spend them on an upgrade for my shell.
For your shell.
Is that what you call your body?
This mortal
No, the reason I'm
coil.
not wearing my shell today,
How big is your shell, Rick?
it's I can fit my arms through it. It kind of covers my torso. The upgrade also can protect my legs
Oh, so
from.
you're not going to get a window.
I'm going to get a little oven so I can open my front and then there's baked goods in there.
Fantastic. I've got to ask now, Jack and Ed, what are you going to spend your points on? Admittedly, you have slightly less, so you couldn't afford a full shell upgrade.
I've got a tenner, so it's probably just a meal for like 4 at Greg's. So it's a night out for the family.
If you live in Newcastle, no, but let me qualify that. Newcastle is the only place I've been to that have late night Greg's, is what I mean.
Leeds does.
Does it? Well, not in the station, it
24
doesn't.
hours. 24 hours.
And Jack, what are you going to spend your points on?
Salt.
Excellent. So,
That's useful since your arch nemesis is now a slug, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, Captain Sluggy.
okay, so that has been Talk of the Devil, production by the Lancaster University Comedy Institute. Final thank you once again to all our panellists, Mr. Rick Kay, Mr. Jack Marshall, and Mr. Edmund Colley. Also, again, thanks to our producer, Rachel Smith, and also our scriptwriters for this week, who have been Mr. Liam Fielder, Mr. Ronnie Barmer, and Mr. Sean Gilbody. And a final thank you all to listening.